I don't know why, but you are watching the Madness Comic Network. Are you mental?
Beyond the world we know is a place where reality bends and time stands still. A place where legends, fairy tales, and nightmares are real. A world where legends are born and destinies collide. Alice has spent her life lost in an interdimensional rift known as Wonderland, and it forged her into a deadly bounty hunter. With her ancient clockwork guardian Big Ten by her side, they hunt the things that stalk the shadows of Wonderland. Alice Lost in Wonderland, issues 1 and 2 launch May 6 on Kickstarter. Follow along at GoMrFish.com.
It's Flip City.
Delicious, delicious coffee. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Here we are on the Tuesday morning brew. Wow. I'll tell you what, it's been so freaking busy the last couple of weeks. I feel like I have disappeared off of social media. I'm here, I'm alive. I've just been busy. Been at Comic Cons, I've been doing kids stuff. I got sick. Um, Oh, yeah, and then the sky fell. I don't know what day that was when all the lightning happened. That was not fun. But other than that, we've been okay. Um, Path of the Pale Rider number 6 was completely fulfilled, except for that one person who didn't fill out their survey. One time, I would like to just see 100%, but there's always that new person that doesn't do a survey, and I was like, "You got really cool stuff. Why would you not come back? Why would you not come back for that?" I don't know. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see how this next one goes. I'd like to see that 100%. But if you are not signed up for issue number 7, you got to be signed up for issue number 7, you guys. Here it is. I can drop the link in the chat. Hey, everybody. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Lou. Good morning. But here is the linky Lou. Yeah, to sign up for issue number 7. Last week we had 43 followers, and that's what happens when you go to a Comic-Con and you promote your stuff is that people actually sign up. So, hurrah, 60 followers. We're planning on launching this one July 18th. It's going to be wild. I have some pretty cool stuff planned for campaign. Make sure you show up. That's where all the exclusive stuff is, the pops, the hot sauce, the secret rewards, all the cool t-shirts and extra merch. You can only get it from the campaigns. I don't bring it to cons. It's too much to carry around. I mean, you guys know. If you go to cons, you know, you have to carry all of the things. And I just don't want to carry more of all of the things. So that's just something to keep in mind. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you. Thank you. And so let's see what else is coming up. Next week on the Brew is going to be the slice and dice. I'm going to maul a watermelon. I still have not revealed the name that won. So we'll reveal the name, but it's watermelon. The weapon that won, of course, was the bat saw. There wasn't really a choice there because I put it in 5 times. But with the rubber chicken attached to it. So that'll be fun. I'm going to dress up as Pikachu as always, and we're going to have a blast. Next week's guest is Matt Knowles, and they're going to be talking about their new series as well. What else did I want to? Oh, and I wanted to give a shout out to my friend Fishley, who was on just last week. It was his birthday yesterday. His campaign for Alice Lost in Wonderland is rocking and rolling. You guys saw the ad for it. So it's going. So if you haven't shown that one some love, that would be a great birthday present for Fishley, to go pick a reward, whatever works for you. All right, enough about me. Let's bring in my guest, the one, the only. Well, I mean, you're familiar with Tom. He's been on the show before. Writer, creator, shark enthusiast, Tom Hutchinson. Yeah, just kidding.
And the show's over. Thanks for having me. Appreciate that time, Laurie.
There he goes again. Just kidding. I'm kidding. Hi, Tom. How are you, man?
Okay, we're recovering from Motor City, and and getting ready for another con in 3 days. So,
oh my gosh,
yeah. So it's that sort of time of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's I did that once last year where there was 2 big cons back to back, and I was like, never again. But then I'm doing the same thing this weekend. I went to a con last weekend. I'm doing this weekend.
Yeah, and I've got 3 and 4 weeks, so I'm going to do. I did Motor City. I'm doing Cherry Capital Comic Con, and then a week off, and then I'm off to New York for Ostravaganza. So, yeah, and then technically 2 weeks later, there's another con that I'm debating.
Yeah.
I already said no to one. I was like, no, I'm not going out there. But there's another one that popped up that I was like, God damn it, probably should do that. So we'll see if that should happen. I will let people know. Otherwise, if that doesn't happen, I'm going to be pretty free and clear until July. I might be doing a horror show. Motor City Nightmares, maybe. I know Chad Perkins is going to be out there, so cool. I'm gonna at least go and hang out, but I might be boothing there. And then kind of nothing until September, and then it gets busy September, October.
Yes,
there's a whole bunch of shows down there too. So
yeah,
I think I'm gonna kind of try and take some summertime off, and then we're gonna have to power through the fall.
Yeah, I think that's pretty similar to my schedule too, where it's like it's May. I don't really have any shows scheduled for June. I have one in July. I got a couple in August and then 2 really big ones in September back to back. Like, I'm going to be dead after that. Like, I don't plan, I'm going to be a burrito for probably 3 days after we get back from the second one. The second one is Mockingbird Lane in Seguin.
Yep.
And that's a 3-day show. And I was like, a 3-day show? I've never done a 3-day show. And then I'm looking at the times. It's like, with first night is until 11 p.m. And I was like, oh shit. This is a long one. It's like, I'm gonna be drinking.
It starts at 11 o'clock.
No. The first night goes until 11 p.m.
Goes until 11.
It
I was
starts
like,
at, I
this
think,
is a weird
2.
time.
It's like 2 to 11, and then the next day is, I think, a 12-hour block, and then the next Sunday is like ends at 4.
It's sort of like a horror con thing.
Yeah,
ish.
it is.
Right. So that's why it's going late. They're probably going to have weird things happening in the evening and whatever. Yeah.
And I'm excited. It's my first time going that far south. I've never been to San Antonio. It's out that way. So,
well, that's where Big Texas Comic-Con is. You got to come down for that.
I would love to go to that one, Brian.
Yeah, and that Mockingbird, Brian's already told me where he's going to get me into that Mockingbird.
Oh, you're going to come too? Hooray! Yeah, so Brian helped me get into that one.
Yeah, I told him, like, there's going to be some requirements of my friend because I'm a long ways away, and he was like,
right?
We'll take care of it. I was like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah, yeah. He helped me some too. So because I was like, that's a 4-hour and 45-minute drive.
Oh, 4 hours? Oh no, I have 4 days.
Yeah, are you driving in though? Or are you going to fly?
I drive everywhere.
You drive everywhere?
Good Lord. For that one though, I might not. Because I told him, like, there's only so many of those I can do in the year. That's why I'm not going west. Usually I go out west to Albuquerque in June, and I'm just like, I can't do it this year. I can't do it.
It's just, I mean, that's the farthest
too much.
It's
too much. I have too much going on. We're launching a campaign, like, right when I would probably be on the road. Like, it's just too much, and so I'm not going to do that. But
yeah, I was going to say that's the furthest I will. That's the furthest. I haven't gone that far yet. That's the furthest I will have gone. Is that good English? I will have gone that in the future.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But yeah, it just seems daunting.
Having Big Bang Theory flashbacks now, where they're talking about the
future,
the plot line to Back to the Future movie, and they're talking about the past tenses and the present tenses. Have had, has, have had. You know.
Like, that was a funny episode. I was like, I don't even want to. I'm lost at this point watching them just draw it all over the place. But
yes.
But that's. I mean, do you have any tips for someone doing that the first time? Like,
long trip?
Yeah.
Don't unless you're really, really sure. Because if it doesn't work, you're gonna hate yourself for doing. Because here's the thing: it's not just like a 3-day drive there. It's 3 days there, 3 days of the con, 3 days back. So you're talking about a 9-day convention trip.
Oh, that's only 1 day drive for me, but
that's what I'm saying. So if you're going to plan to do a con that is going to take you days of time, really have a sense of what that con is and why you're there, and can you attract the audience that's there?
Yeah.
Because if you end up going and it's just like a total dump, you're going to be like, oh my God, I threw 9 days away.
Right.
Like,
because it's not just the money, it's the time.
It's the time. Yeah. The time is as valuable as, the $500 you spend on a booth. Like,
right.
So it's tough. I mean, that's really the only thing I can tell you is for me, I set my iPad on my dashboard and just play movies and watch TV or whatever, because again, you're driving like 6-7 hours a day to do this. So, kill a season of Young Sheldon or something along the way. And you can keep yourself sane. Now, if you have a partner, if you have like a navigator, that can either help or hinder depending on who your navigator is.
Funny story. I convinced my husband to come with me on this one, and that'll be the very first con that he's going to help me with. I kind of feel like he should come with me on another one to see how it goes before that one, because that one's going to be a lot, right? Because it's not only the drive, it's set up and late night all in one day.
Yep.
So I don't know. He might divorce me on the way home.
He'll just be like, no, it's. He's like, no, you just do
He's
it
like,
yourself.
we're
now.
done. I'm never
Do
doing
it yourself.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
like, we're done with this. The weekend before that, I'm going to Oklahoma. So it's like I go north and then I go south.
Mhm.
Hey, Glenn. He says, Tom, run. I would say run next week when I bring out the weapons.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
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 So, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. It's going to be HorrorCon, so I think I'll do well there in September. But so tell me, how was Motor City? How did that one turn out?
It was
Did you
good.
see?
It was good. Oh, what did I see? Nothing. We were at the booth the whole time.
No,
I barely even got to go over and see Chad and
that's
Rob
what I was thinking.
Voltari, and I
Yeah,
really had almost no time for that. It was really good.
busy show.
They reshuffled the whole floor again, so it wasn't like what it was last year. I was kind of concerned because I really liked the setup last year.
Yeah,
But where we were, they moved us. I told them, like, you've got to get us out of this weird hole and put us like next to Artist Alley. Like that's where we need to be, because that's what we are. We're art
yeah.
producers. And so they did. And so they got us a spot right next to Artist Alley. We got an extra corner. So we had extra space for me and CB Zane. And it was really good. I mean, it was like, and it was unlike cons that we've had in recent memory, in that a lot of times, most of the time, someone will come to the table and they'll be like, oh, this is like really cool. Like, tell me what this is. Like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, this is this and this. And we've got like volumes 1 through 5. And here's the big deal that we do at the cons. And they're like, oh, that's awesome. I'll take number 1. I'm like, mother, God
God.
damn it. And I mean, I understand why, but like, I'm like, well, you can do that. We can send you the others whenever you want. It will be full price shipping. You're getting a really
Yeah,
good deal. They're like, yeah, we'll just get number 1. I'm like, all right, take number 1. But this show, they were all in. Everybody was like,
nice,
oh, that's a deal. Give me all of it. Like
nice.
over and over and over again. So it changed the scope of, the sales like in an instant. So
Mhm.
they were all in this year, and it was great. So we did a lot better than we did last year. Last year was good. We did better this year. And it made me feel good about it, because I was really kind of unsure, like,
Yeah,
maybe or maybe not, I come back to this con,
yeah,
or maybe it's an every other year con or something like that. But no, I think it was really good, and I think we've now maybe got like a foothold in there to where we can really sort of push off and be like, oh yeah, we're here again and
yes.
again and again, and so on. So yeah, so it was really good. It was
Well,
good.
I
I
I
was
like
happy.
that when people come to the con year after year and they're like, "Hey, what I really, I'm here to see you. What do
Mhm.
you have that's new?" You
Yeah,
know what
what's
I
the new
mean?
stuff? Yep.
That's a great feeling.
And that's the bonus sort of hidden value of them buying one book, is that
They
should they
come
come
back.
back the next year, they'll be like, oh, I got number 1 last time. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
grab the rest. They're like, well,
yeah.
I'll just get number 2. Oh, okay.
Oh, this is gonna take years.
This is gonna, yeah. I'm gonna be retired before you
Right.
finish buying all
It's
my
like,
books that are
I'm gonna have
already
to buy
done.
them off of eBay because
Yeah.
I ain't doing this no more. Like,
But yeah. But it was good. I know Chad did well. He was very, very
good.
happy, which was good. And we had one night of get together for dinner, which was good. And yeah,
Fun.
it was a good time. It was a good time.
Motor City Comic Con is one that is on my bucket list.
Mhm.
And I would like to get there some year just because that's my hometown.
Oh yeah.
And, I didn't get into comics until we were already here in Texas. So I never really had a chance to set up and table there.
Mhm.
So I would love to go and see who I run into, at that one.
For
So
sure.
I
Yeah.
have to talk to my editor because she's in Michigan and be like, can I crash at your house? Like, also, do you want to run a table with me? Because it would be great experience. I don't know if she'll buy that, but it's worth a try,
Yes. Yeah.
right?
For sure. For sure. Yeah. Hometown hero comes back as a
Yeah.
comic book superstar. Yeah.
Love it. I
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
use that.
Yeah. You send that to the local newspapers and stuff and
Yeah.
be like, hey, look, Laurie Calcaterra is coming back to Detroit. Y'all need to talk about this a lot. If there are any television shows that need, guests, like, she's available, like
So available.
yeah, so available. all the time.
All the time. Except for when I'm taking kids to birthday parties or tank school. One or the other.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So you just finished a campaign?
Yeah.
When did that one finish? That
The
was
like last week
Critter and
or 10 days ago or so, Critter and Chloe.
Chloe.
The campaign that was never meant to be, but we did it anyway.
What do you mean it was never meant
Well,
to
it was
be?
never supposed to be a campaign. It
Really?
was it was basically we just took the 3 convention exclusives that we had for C2E2, Motor City, and Cherry Capital Comic Con, and we just put those up. Here, just buy them now. Basically,
Okay.
because we were like, well, okay, so there's going to be a lot of people that can't get to the cons, so we'll
Yeah.
just do this as sort of like a pre-order thing, whatever. And then I took a stack to the cons, obviously, and the people that backed it aren't going to get the books until after the cons, so it's not like they're getting it early or anything. Like the people at the cons get the book right now.
Right.
I won't start shipping the campaign until next week after Cherry Capital. So it kind of all settles into place. Like we do the cons. Okay, now the backers get their stuff.
Gotcha.
And it just worked out perfectly too, because that's like 2 weeks after the campaign. So Kickstarter finishes what they need to do. Everybody's credit cards are billed, so I know who's paid and who hasn't. There are definitely people who have not paid. Fix your credit cards. But yeah. So it worked out really well. People were happy about it. And honestly, I have seen other people do this as well. Like they were doing like, hey, we're going to whatever con. Here's the pre-order thing for our convention exclusive. So I'm not like the first guy to do this. There was some precedent already that I kind of was like, really? That seems a little weird. But it worked. And people weren't upset about it. And so I was like, all right, let's just, because
Yeah,
my
that was
mom
my
had passed.
question.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
my mom had passed in April and she was
Yeah.
sick, like starting in February. Like we just scrapped everything. Like Penny for Your Soul was supposed to launch in March. Now it's launching in June. So we just had like this big gap of time where we weren't doing anything. And I was like, look, I have these books. I mean, literally, they're already printed and in my hand, like because they have to go to the cons. So I'm like, I have these books. Let me just do this little mini campaign. And we ran it for like, I don't know, 11 days. And really, it should have been like 3 days. Because it's ridiculous. Even in an 11-day campaign, we still had like, yay, yay.
But it's like, less of a murmur than if you had a 30-day campaign.
For sure.
Then
for
it's
sure.
just like forever. And I always want to blow my brains out during that time. But
yeah, it's horrible.
I've managed to not.
But yeah, the point here, boys and girls, is it doesn't matter how long your campaign is. It will always suck in the middle.
Yeah.
Just that's it. So make the middle as small as you possibly can so you don't go insane. That's the answer.
Carrie, you must not have caught Tom on the show before. This is not Tom's first show, just so you're aware.
Not my first rodeo.
It's not his first rodeo on the Brew, but we're happy to answer your questions. So,
of course.
Because first, let's go back. She wanted to know what comic made you want to create your own comic.
Nothing.
Stop. What comic were you reading?
It's true. I had no. Okay, so I've been a lifelong comic reader, basically collector since I was a kid. I never had the sense at any given time of like, hey, I should like be a writer or do art or do like make comics. I never thought of like I could be a movie star. I could drive NASCAR. I could I never, as a kid, I always thought that you did what your parents did.
Oh.
Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the only way to get into movies is if your dad was a movie star or something like that, right?
I think that's still true in Hollywood, but
for sure. But like that's the only way in. Like people who aren't already tied in can't do it. And so for me with comics, it really wasn't until I think Image Comics did their thing, and even then, it still wasn't exactly there. But that's kind of when I started to tinker around with the idea of like, oh look, these guys are just like moving from these big companies and then like doing their own stuff.
Yeah.
And so the 90s was like that. There were just companies popping up all over the place. And I was like, this is different than I understand comics, because people are just making their own crap. So I think that's where the seed was planted. And not long after that, that's when I kind of was like, well, maybe I could draw comics, because I was a big art guy. I was like, maybe I could draw comics. So I started to try and learn how to draw, and so on and so on. That progressively led to the realization that I can't draw, but maybe I can write. And so that's where I fell into the writing. I started writing Critter. And then that's kind of where it was. But I mean, I had like my 9-to-5 job, and all this stuff was happening. And so all the comics were just sort of like side hustle thing, before side hustles were a real thing. I was like, let's just make this on the side. And then when I got laid off of my job that I had at that time, I had Penny for Your Soul and I had Critter more or less ready to go. And that's when I just said, well, let me just see if I can do this. And we put the books out, and 15 years later, here we are. This is all I do. But there wasn't like I read a book and I'm like, I can do that. Like that wasn't the thing. It was more like the environment was changing, and I was being affected by the environment of seeing all these guys like, hey, we can just like make our own things. And I was like, oh, all right, maybe I can be a part of that in some capacity.
I feel that way as well. Like I never thought about doing comics. Never. I never thought about writing either. It wasn't until I was part of that production company that I got bit with that writing bug. And then it was like, I don't know what to do with this. And it was because Kickstarter was already established and people were making, they were funding projects on Kickstarter, when my husband was like, this is the route you should go. And I was like, I could do that.
Well, yeah. And you're looking at a D+ English student who's now a writer as a profession. So, figure that out.
Take that, Mrs. Smith. I don't know what your teacher's name is, but that
was what was her name? She was upset with me.
Were you drawing all day during her?
No. Lecture? Do you know what I was doing in English class?
What?
I was playing Game Boy. Because Game Boy had come out.
So in trouble.
And I would sit in the back of Game Boy. But here's the thing. She didn't know it was a video game thing. So she thought it was some sort of a little calculator, computer thing, right? And they were like, well, you can't have those things out during the test or whatever. And I'm just like, this is Mario Brothers. Like, what are we talking about? So she wasn't even upset that it was Mario Brothers. She was upset that she thought I was cheating on tests somehow.
She's like, you're using your calculator to answer English. Knock it off.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I don't remember her name anymore. I can see her. She was a good-looking girl, but I can't.
Take that, lady.
Yeah, take that, blonde, cute teacher lady. Yeah. Now I'm doing it. Now I'm doing it for real.
Funny. There's a lot of us that. Well, I was good at English, but I don't think my teacher never really said I would amount to nothing. But I had another guest that was drawing all the time in class, and his teacher was like, he's special needs. He needs to be in the SPED class. And he was like, what?
Well, that was me.
Put him into SPED for a year.
That was me in college. Like I graduated high school. I took a year away from school because I'm like, if I don't have to go, I'm not going. But then my friends were taking college classes. And so I was like, I mean, if they're there, I guess I might as well just go to hang out with my friends or whatever. So I took 2 classes, Laurie. I don't know if I've told you this story.
No.
Do you know what the 2 classes were?
No.
Okay. So one was business class.
Smart. Okay.
That's fine. Yeah. Take a shot at what the second class was.
Home ec. Oh, no.
These are not the hands of a baker. No.
That's why I thought it would be funny. You'd be like, I just picked a random class and didn't have to show up.
It's true.
I'm gonna say, I don't know, anthropology.
You're not far off with that, in that it's a useless class. You're not far off.
Not anthropology.
No, it was volleyball.
Volleyball, underwater basket weaving, like volleyball.
Took a physical education class because we lived in California, so we were all playing volleyball on the weekends anyway. So we took a volleyball class, or they were taking it to get college credits, PE credits. And so I took business.
Ballet.
Yeah, no. There's no grace. There's no grace in these feet. There is no baking in these hands.
Lou, he's a giant too. He's like 6'4", 5,
Yeah,
6
if
foot
I
5.
did like a swan kick, someone would lose their head.
Yeah.
Like it would be bad.
You were close. That's right.
Yeah.
But I could see either basketball or volleyball because you're tall.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I love spiking the ball. Like they were terrorizing. Like whenever I was at the net, they were like, "Just give him the point, move on. Like it's
Your
fine."
broken nose is not worth it.
Yeah, but so in business class, I had a really cool professor who realized quickly that I was not going to flourish in his class.
Okay.
Because I was in the back and I was drawing. This is where Critter was created. I was drawing in the back of business class while listening to whatever he said. But I would do well on the tests, right? So he understood that I kind of had the ability, but he was always telling me like, you're not going to get a lot out of this class, I don't think, because you're not a classroom learner, right? But he was like, you're going to figure it out on your own. You're going to find your way to get what you need. And he would tell me like, you're going to be fine. You're going to understand it your way. You're going to make it work your way. And I will give you whatever I can while you're in this class. But I understand, but he was telling me like, I understand that you're not really here, during class time, but you're doing well enough on the test that clearly you understand the material. So,
that's a great teacher, man.
Yeah, he was very cool. He was very cool. And honestly, I probably should have kept going. But I only did one semester and I was like, this whole school thing is for the birds, man. I'm, homework and like, no, I got other things to do. I got volleyball to play. Are you kidding me? So, and again, right? No one told me you can play volleyball for a living. Like, what are we doing? Why are we not telling kids that you can do cool shit? That isn't, oh, you have to be a banker or a doctor. No, go play volleyball for a living.
The things that you do in your real life are not even what you go to school for anyway.
Yeah.
I would say more than half. I would say probably 80% of the time. I don't know anybody, unless you're in medicine or you're a lawyer, where you get a very specific degree. You know what I mean? Most everybody else is like, that guy went to marketing.
Yeah. School's value is not in what you learn so much as it is, how do I describe this? As like,
management skills, self-management
the discipline of the discipline of work, right? Like, okay, we have to show up at a certain time. We have to be here. We have to do the job, whatever the job is. And
mom and dad are not here to watch me.
Some social skill-ish things because you're dealing with people, right? That's sort of the value of like, we're going to school. And then if you actually do thrive in whatever classes you're taking, then that's so much the better. But it's so rare that we can like focus somebody in a direction that they want to go. Like, well, I want to be a gardener. Okay, well then you probably don't need to learn, X, Y, and Z. Let's get you in all of the science classes so you can learn about chlorophyll and sunlight and fertilizer, and let's send you in the right direction. Yeah. So I've always thought that if school could you kind of have to come up in a general zone as a kid, but once you kind of get to a point where you're like, yeah, you know what, I'm not going to be that math guy. I'm probably going to be this guy. Let's focus the curriculum a little more. But anyway. I took business and volleyball, and now I'm a writer for comic books. Somehow.
Hey, I got a fine arts degree with a minor in music.
Oh, see, but see, that's all creative.
It is. And you know what creative. Though? It did so my area of concentration in art was metalsmithing. And that, I think everybody should learn how to do that, or at least go there. Here's why. Because you take an idea from your head, which is non-tangible, you design it on paper, right? So you make it 2D. You have to go through the engineering process. So step 1, step 2, step 3, how you have to put it in order is very specific, because otherwise you melt the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
And then you actually go and you do your process, and you're going to discover things along the way. And you might have to refine your process and do it again.
Yes.
But it's part of the process. So it's taking something from, out of the ether, making it into 2D, making a plan, and making it into a 3D final object.
Yeah.
That I think is so I don't even words fail me.
Do you want to know how lame I am, Laurie?
How lame are you?
Everything. I'm so lame. So when I was in school, I didn't do metalsmithing, but I did have graphic design class where we
Okay.
were learning about screen printing and logo designs
Yeah.
and how to make things like this and so on. I was so lame that I almost failed that class because I was so checked out of school, like so
Oh,
completely
no.
checked out of school that my
That's because
graphic
it was
design, my
school.
teacher was basically like, "Do you know how hard it is to fail this class?" And I was like, "Well," he's like, "I mean, basically, you have to do one project and you'll get like a D, and you'll be fine." And I was like, "One you say?"
You're like,
Uh,
oh, okay.
that was
You're
the
talking
wrong
my
answer from
talking.
him, but I was like, "One you say?"
If I
Okay.
do really good on
Yeah.
one.
So I did one project
But
basically.
it just means that school wasn't for you. But obviously, you
No.
found your niche and you found what interests you, what you're passionate about, and then you excel. And I think that's with a lot of people. You know what I mean? School isn't for them. But when
Yeah.
they find their niche, they're all in and they can make really amazing stuff. So,
Yeah.
this other question from Carrie, we kind of glossed over. I'm pushing all the buttons again. Where do you share what you're working on? So, Big Dog Inc. Carrie, if you're still here, Big Dog Inc. Right is the name of Tom's production company.
Mhm.
And then for people new to your books, where do you find them? And also, do you ship international? Carrie is in the UK.
Oh yeah. So so I mean, we do all the social media stuff. You can follow me. You guys are anybody who's watching. You're welcome to friend me up on Facebook here or wherever you do your social media. We're on Instagram and all those places. So we share stuff there all the time. We also do a Patreon. So if you really want to get deep into the weeds of like how we do creation of things, designs, the lines, colors, the whole thing, sort of the process, we do a Patreon, which is patreon.com/Big Dog Inc. So that has sort of like the process elements. The Patreon folks get to see stuff well ahead of time, so they know what's going on. They get special offers, they get special extras. Like when you're a Patreon member and you back our Kickstarters, you get what we call Patreon perks, which is just bonus freebie stuff from like original art sketch cards. Sometimes we do special metal cards, whatever. They get special bonuses for being a patron and a Kickstarter backer as well. So
Cool.
Patreon is a cool place to be. And then as far as international, we do international stuff. It's hard to do because the shipping stuff is changing all the time and it's like super expensive. There's not really a way around that. But for example, on our Kickstarters, it's kind of all built in. So if you buy something, it'll tell you like, oh, you're in the UK, it's going to cost $30, whatever it is. If you're buying from our website, it won't let you because the things change so much. But all you have to do is just get a hold of me and we can just arrange it, sort of external of the actual system. You just PayPal me a certain number and I'll be like, yeah, that's got the shipping in there. We send you books. So we ship international all the time, everywhere. Doesn't matter where you are. The weirdest one I've ever shipped to is the Faroe Islands.
Where's that?
I don't know, but there are Big Dog Inc. comics in the Faroe Islands.
Good to know. I don't know. It's an untapped audience.
So yeah, but yeah, literally everywhere. Instagram is Critters Daddy, CRITTRS DADDY. That's what back in the day, guys. You used to need like a cool little slang name for your message for your message boards and that kind of stuff. So when I was first getting into the message board situation over on digital webbing, I was working on Critter. That was my first comic book. So I just figured I would just make it Critters Daddy and because I'm making that book. So, and then that just kind of stuck with me and I moved it over to Instagram. I don't use it anywhere else, but I don't know that I can change it on Instagram. I probably can, but at this point, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm 54. Hey. I don't know how technology works.
Oh, you boomer. Just kidding.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
Here, let me show you guys. For those that are new to Tom Hutchinson, he again, this is the 15th year for Big Dog Inc. So they have a lot of stuff going on, but these are the 49 projects that he has created. There's a ton. So there's the Critterverse, which is amazing. It's superhero. There's Penny for Your Soul, which is more supernatural. Yes.
It's like theology. It's heaven and hell, heaven versus hell in Las Vegas, as
Gotcha.
they
Las
battle
Vegas.
for our souls. Yeah. But
Princesses
we do.
versus zombies.
Yeah. Princesses versus zombies.
That was a show that we had here on the Tuesday Morning Brew. We were promoting one of these, and it's you have to go watch it. I'm just I was giving Tom a hard time about some of his characters. Goth Day. One of the things that I think Tom does really well is he incorporates like those random international days, like Corn Dog Day, right? National Skateboard Day. What was the other one?
Pillow
that
fight
was in
day
the one
right there. Pillow fight
which
day
one?
is right there. It's pillow fight day.
Pillow fight day.
Yep.
It's just so silly.
Yeah,
But
we've done alien abduction day. So
Right.
yeah. Yeah,
Like,
these are
I
all
think that's
like
hilarious.
I don't know, quote unquote real days on the calendar.
Yeah.
Very, cow appreciation day, things like that. So yeah, so we've been doing that for the past couple of years. But we do horror, western, superheroes, fantasy.
Yeah.
We're all over the place, and that's just because my brain is all over the place, and it's just like, well, I'm tired of writing superheroes now, so I want to write westerns, and then that's what happens. So next year is the 15-year anniversary of this book.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
Legend of
Carrie,
Oz.
this one's one of my favorites. I've gotten to read extensively into this series. And Tom was gracious enough to let me write a crossover into here that was in the Big Dog Inc. 14-year anthology. And I had a blast. But it's crazy how the Wizard of Oz lends itself to being a Western. And so the Legend of Oz, the Wicked West, is just basically it's the Wizard of Oz, but it's retold as a Western. It's really good.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it's really good.
So
good. I mean, that's why I'm like, it's kind of all over the place, but there's a lot to choose from. And what's great for people like Carrie who are just finding Tom will run these things called book fair.
Book fair, yeah.
Which
we did book fair for the first time last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
And basically it's just an opportunity for people to get in on what we do. We did some new stuff, new variants and stuff, but
yeah.
The key of the whole thing was, hey guys, come and get trade paperbacks and catch up issues and whatever. So, whatever, like you can get all the Critter stuff, all the Oz stuff, all the Penny stuff. It was just a great opportunity for people to just buy into books, stuff that maybe they had never tried before, hadn't seen before. We throw up some back issues, some things that we have still in the warehouse, and so on and so on. And we'll be doing this again in August, like towards the end of August. This year's book fair, though, you'll be able to get all those books too, but this year's book fair's focus will be the Legend of Oz omnibus that we're going to be producing.
I want
that. So it's going to be like this ridiculous 500-page gigantic hardcover, oversized. We're going oversized too. It's going to be like 11 inches tall, so it's a little bit bigger than normal. That'll be the focus.
That's cool. I plan on rebinding mine if you don't mind. I'm gonna make it extra fancy, one of a kind, Laurie Calcaterra style. It's the Good Witch Glenda Eastwood. Ha ha. You got to read it to find out, Lou. It's really good. Really good.
Yeah, it's really good. It's exciting. It's so good.
That's cool. And like you said, that's what I really like about the book fair is because you do all these different series where like myself, I've read a lot of Critter and I've read a lot of Legend of Oz, but it's like, I really haven't gotten into Penny for Your Soul. So it's like, so here I am. I can see what else is available, or Ursa Minor that I haven't read. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because the thing is like Kickstarter works kind of as a social media thing. Like people can follow you on there.
Yes.
So if they're backing you on like my Critter books, that might be all that they're aware of as far as what we do. But if they get the announcement of like, oh, Tom has launched a book fair, and they go look at what that is, and they're like, whoa, there's like all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the idea behind it. It was sort of like back to school, like back in the old days, kids, we used to have scholastic book fairs where you'd
Yeah.
go and you would order books off these little newspaper sheets,
Yep.
and then you'd go pick up your books and buy
My
other ones
kids-
and so on. Yeah,
My kids still do this.
it's still a thing.
There's
Yeah.
still book fair. And in
Mhm.
fact, like if I try to go with them, it's like very limited time. So they pick out their books and I send money with them and they go before school. Like I drop
Mhm.
them off 10 minutes early and they go to book fair and pick their books before they go to class. So
I still have one book for sure, 100%, that I got from book fair.
really?
Yeah.
Which one?
And it was one that I think I found just like at the bookmobile thing. Like I don't think I
Bookmobile.
ordered it. I think I had picked up the stuff that I had ordered, but I was looking around at stuff and I found it. That's kind of my memory. But
Yeah.
it was an Empire Strikes Back pop-up book.
That's
And
so cool.
it's amazing. And I still have it. I would, there's no way that book would ever leave my hands. And that's just a great little throwback to my insane childhood.
I mean, you think you would? There's a
Talk
lot of
about
insane childhoods.
yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, mine was like so hyper focused on like that stuff, on like Star Wars and whatever. Like I was not the kid that was running around the neighborhood on a skateboard or a bike, jumping off of things and stuff. Like I was like, I have the Millennium Falcon and I'm going out in the backyard and I'm going to play with my toys. Like I was hyper fixated on all of that stuff. I remember the Christmas that I got the AT-AT, the Snow Walker. Lost my mind. The thing was as big as I was at the time. So yeah, it was.
Do you still have it?
Laurie,
do you still have it?
Not only do I have it, I have 3 of them.
Where are they?
They're in the basement.
Okay.
I
was like, is it on the table? Like, is one on display under glass?
Yeah. So soon, yes. So I had. So here's the thing. Like, for many, so in the old days, kids, when things were on TV, everything was cropped, right? Because TVs weren't widescreen. Movies were widescreen, but then when it went on TV, everything got cropped down.
Yeah,
right?
or like it was like the top and the bottom of the screen were black.
TVs used to be basically square, so they had to fit it in there, and they didn't squish it so that there's black bars at the top. They just cut the sides off of whatever portion they needed to show you. So for many years, even though I've seen The Empire Strikes Back in theaters like 6 times that summer, every time I saw it after that, it was always on VHS or TV, and it was always cropped. So when you got to the Snow Walker scene, there were these 3 Snow Walkers walking across. Look at us, here we come. And so in my brain, I was always like, I need 3 Snow Walkers because there's 3 in the movie. I need 3 Snow Walkers. And I never had 3. I only ever had 1. So many years later, I finally had my 3. And I was like, I got my 3. I can set this up properly. And around this time is when widescreen movies became a thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and then you were like,
And so when Empire Strikes Back came out on widescreen, like Laserdisc, I was like, put it in, let's go. And I'm watching the scene and I'm like, there's the 3, and damned if there aren't 2 more.
Oh, there's 5.
There's 5.
Oh my gosh. Good morning, Carl.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for coming in. Don's husband, by the way, does Legos. Like, and I mean, like, took over the entire garage is a Lego village. We got to see it one time, and yes, Star Wars Legos are one of his favorites, and that was a lot of fun to see their collection. So thanks for sharing, Don. Right, so now, do you have 2 more? Are you planning on getting 2 more?
I still just have 3. So
sad.
I'm so deficient. It's upsetting. It's really upsetting.
Oh. Well, life's not over. You can always find 2 more.
Yeah.
On eBay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. There was.
Do you remember? This is what I was talking about. I still have. I think I have old DVDs that are like you can watch in widescreen or full screen.
Because that's before the TVs had evolved to become
rectangle.
That. So people didn't like the black bars at the top or the bottom. They didn't understand why it was like that. So yeah. That's a real thing. Yeah.
Hey, Chris Brown, how are you, sir? I have your box right here sitting next to me to open cargo. It was right there.
Now
someone stole it.
Now technically, I just realized I have 4. And
Oh, is it a mini
maybe
one?
if I used it to scale, like with perspective for pictures, it would work. I have this little guy.
Oh, cute. You
So
ever
this,
dress them up for not for Halloween, for Christmas? You give them a little headband with some antlers.
no, Laurie, there's
You
no
should.
Christmas in Star Wars. It's called Life Day, if you want to know.
Do it. And let
Get
them
that
see you
little
do it.
So this was I bought this for $10.
That one's name is Fred. We're gonna name it Fred.
Fred. Yeah. So technically I have 4, but you know, it is what it is. It is.
That's funny.
Yeah.
No holiday special? Yeah, there's holiday Star Wars specials.
It's the holiday special. Notice it doesn't say Christmas. It's the holiday special.
Yeah.
But during the holiday special, they celebrate Life Day. That's their
thing.
That's their holiday. That's the Wookiee Life Day that they have to get Chewbacca home to celebrate Life Day with his family. So yeah.
We weren't joking. He really is a big Star Wars nerd.
I know. I have
plethora of knowledge.
I have some knowledge. I don't want holiday special knowledge. That needs to go away. Like that's a terrible thing.
Do you own a lightsaber?
I do not.
Really?
I had one back in the day. The original lightsabers that they sold were basically just flashlights with a tube, and you could put a little colored disc in it so that it would kind of catch a little bit of light. But it was just a cheap plastic flashlight toy thing. So I did have one of those back in the day, but I do not have a lightsaber.
There is no Christmas in Star Wars, Laurie. We're gonna clip that. And my face looking so disappointed, like what?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Hit the other players with snowballs. That's funny. Have you seen the new carbon fiber lightsabers?
Oh yeah, people have been making
always
those.
At the Comic-Con.
Oh no, I haven't seen like the original. Well, so here's the thing: they've been making these knockoffs for years at Comic-Cons. These knockoff things, but Disney now has made like some kind of real lightsaber. Have you seen this stuff where you have the hilt and you push the button and it actually becomes?
Is it a tube that comes out? Like what comes out?
Don't know. This is what I'm saying. But if you watch the videos, they're just like, "Hey, I've got a lightsaber," and now it's on. And now it's off, and there's nothing there. I'm like, what magic is this? This is like honest, real Disney magic. This is really freaking me out.
I need one.
It's really strange.
Is it just I need one.
We're gonna have to figure it out. I
gotta get one.
I don't know the answer.
I've used the really nice carbon fiber ones.
Yeah.
Then like sparred with people with them. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I was like, is it possible for me to break one of these? They're like, no. And I was like, okay. And then they're like, stop. like, just checking. Like, no, okay. All right. Like, you haven't seen me use this yet. Okay. It's fun.
If you tell me I can't break it, I'm gonna prove you wrong.
I'm gonna try.
I'm gonna prove you wrong.
Holiday special was awful, which is why I bring it up anytime people talk about it, just to poke people.
The fact that I know so much about it, though, is really what bothers me. I mean, it really bothers me that I know B. Arthur was, the bartender, and like Gary Coleman. Oh my God, who's the? Now I'm forgetting a name, but no, it's ridiculous. And the craziest part of the whole thing is Chewbacca's dad watching essentially porn in a VR headset for 20 minutes.
What?
Like, yeah, there's this scene where he has a VR headset. He puts on these glasses and this girl comes on, and she's like a star from back in the 70s. And she's singing and being sexy and the Chewbacca's dad is just sitting there like, oh, and it goes for like 15 minutes. Like it's the weirdest segment of that entire thing. I mean, it's all weird, but that's the weirdest. Yeah, really weird.
All right, so things I need to watch. Just to see what the heck. Where's my one? I want to go. I'm sure there's YouTube videos about the Hold please, my brain just. I need paper. Okay. All right. So the new lightsaber.
Yeah, the new lightsaber, the real lightsaber.
And it's the holiday Star Wars holiday with Chewbacca.
Star Wars holiday special, yeah.
I don't think I've
Oh,
ever
and wait
seen
till
it.
you see Luke. Like, I don't know what happened to
Are
him.
they claymation? Are they live action? What
No,
are
it's
they?
live action. It's suits and the whole thing. Yeah. I mean, they
Yeah.
all came back. Mark Hamill's in it. Harrison Ford's in it. They all came back.
You're kidding me. I thought it would
No.
be like animated or like claymation special.
Carrie Fisher sings to you. Okay.
See, now I have to actually watch this. I've been watching the Lego specials. Good morning, Ray. How are you? A double what? I'm what's a double dupe? Dupe.
Double. I
Dupey?
think it's a double.
Learn how
Or
to spell, you
or
Canadians.
it's Canadian. That's some sort of Canadian drink. Yeah. That's all that is.
It could be a drink. It's Tim Hortons.
Well, so Carl, no, the car accident was before Return of the Jedi. Like Luke goes from Luke as we know him in the theater, in the original movie, but then he's like, his hair is like, he's got this weird mushroom thing. He's super feminine looking, like his makeup is like pink and stuff. Now, maybe it was the makeup that we're talking about as far as that car accident, but I do know that there was the car accident prior to Jedi, which is where he really kind of got a little more jagged in the face. That for sure happened. But no, when you see it, Laurie, you'll understand what I'm talking about. You'll be like, yo, Luke,
What did they do to you?
what happened? What happened? Yeah. So,
Laurie, this is not the special you're looking
it really isn't.
for. Like,
really
oh,
isn't.
God.
But
I don't need
but
to watch
honestly,
it.
if you've never experienced it, you have to experience it once. Just
so I can laugh at it.
oh my God. I don't know that you'll laugh, but you'll have a response.
I'll have feelings.
Yeah, there will be feelings. Yeah.
There will be feelings.
And it's infamously, that's where Boba Fett started.
Really?
There's an animated, like a 10-minute or so animated Boba Fett cartoon that was his origin, because this came out before Empire Strikes Back, so that was his first appearance. Was that? Yeah.
Oh, the things we talk about on the show, especially with Tom, I feel like we see shiny things and we're just off on it. Like, spent a good 30 minutes talking about Star Wars this morning.
Here's a shiny thing. There's
let's
Critter
show
and
off
Chloe.
the shiny thing. Well, I want to talk about what's coming up next. What?
C4 Cherry Capital Comic Con exclusive.
Nice.
So this was so we talked about this, but nobody knows what the hell it is. It's so in 1985, anime was big time. I mean, it still is, but it was coming over to America really for the first time. And so this was a tribute to 40 years of the Dirty Pair anime, Yuri and Kai. So we took Yuri and Kai out. We put in Critter and Chloe, who have teamed up before on various covers and so on. So this is just a little 8-page tribute to the anime. It's also a tribute to Adam Warren, who's been doing Dirty Pair comics adaptions for decades. I took a little nod from some of the stuff that he did. And that's it, and sort of like the days, like the Alien Abduction Day or whatever. Every now and then we do, like, we just latch on to some sort of an anniversary, like we've done the Cannonball Run and National Lampoon's Vacation and odds and ends of things. Everybody does like Star Wars and all the normal stuff, and so I just was like, we're going to find different ways to sort of celebrate some of the stuff that's been in our past. So whenever something weird like that happens, like I was like, the Dirty Pair, how the hell do I do that? And then it took me all of about 2 hours and I had it figured out. So that was fun to do. And again, that put us back on track for the year. And Penny for Your Soul. And I have something shared if you want to share this stuff.
Yes, this is
Penny for Your Soul is launching like the third weekend of June.
Okay.
So these are just the teasers that we make to promote this stuff. And I don't have all of them made, but there's a few that we can go through here. So let me this stupid thing get out of my way.
Lou, you're funny.
There we go. So this is Keith Garvey. Keith's been doing a series of covers that we call the Lingerie Wars, which is basically like old military, you know, how they do the military pinup things. Yeah. So he did one for Critter. This one is Cupid. So he's got a series of these. Then we have Eisenetto Adamar, who is doing, this is Bunny. She's the first horseman of the Apocalypse War. So he's got this one, and then there's an alternate version of this. So this one is the one where she's in hell, and then there's an alternate version where she's in heaven. So there's two versions of that, which is, it came out really great. Nice. Eisenetto is a fantastic artist. This is My Computer's About to Die. Plug it in. This is Pedro Perez.
It's not my fault.
Yeah, I'm out of here. This is Pedro Perez. Love Pedro. He's got kind of a nice sort of almost animated style.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of a blur to it. So that's Mary Magdalene. And then this is a dream get right here. This guy's name is Juan Jose Rip. He has been doing comics for decades, going all the way back to like early Chaos comics with Brian Pulido. Yeah. He did like RoboCop stuff with Frank Miller, and guy's been around forever. And I reached out to him and I was like, yo, I would really like to have you be part of our 15-year anniversary. And he was thrilled. So he did a fantastic book.
Was he one of the ones that you were like, man, I'm so excited this person is, because you've been alluding to what's been coming this year, and I've just been, you know, on the edge of my seat, like, who, Tom?
the thing is that a lot of these people, you guys aren't going to know because they're old school guys. And this guy's old school, but his piece just came out incredible. Yeah, and then this is the other one, is Steven Segovia, who's been working for Marvel, and he's been doing Spawn for years with Todd McFarlane. And he did an amazing Joan of Arc with Nia Ruffino on colors. So yeah, that's the stuff that we have that we can show you right now. But cool. Yeah, there's a bunch more. There's who else do we have? Drax Gall did an amazing cover. We have JB Netto, of course, did the basic cover, like just our standard like logo cover. I know there's a couple others that I can't remember right now, but yeah, it's great stuff. This stuff is fantastic, and we'll launch this in June and kind of put us back on our 15-year, anniversary scheduling for the rest of the year. Yeah. So I'll give you at least a little bit of a tease for you all.
What issue is it?
So this is going to be 2 issues, 40 pages each. Because when I do these things, if I were to do them 20 pages at a time, we'd have to do 4 campaigns to get the whole thing done.
I know. I'm right there.
Yeah. So this is called Mary Magdalene 7 Demons. And it picks up after volume 4, like the official volume 4, that was called Pestilence. So we did the first 4. They were the 4 horsemen: War, Death, False Prophet, and Pestilence. This picks up right after that. We get a little Mary Magdalene mini story, and then that will lead us into the 5th sign of the apocalypse when we come back to Penny for Your Soul. Because that's the whole thing, is we go through all 7 signs of the apocalypse to kind of tell this whole story. And we've done 4 plus a couple of spin-offs. So again, this has a very definitive ending. And once we get there, once we get to Revelation,
I was gonna say, I'm like, we haven't talked about this series before, because
not much.
No, I mean, we've named it, but it's like, sure, I've never got to pick your brain about how far you researched Apocalypse and Revelation, and because I mean, like, that's what I.
Do you want to see my Bible? Like,
yeah.
It's I have a really interesting Bible because for those that know the Bible, it kind of jumps around. Like everywhere you go, it's just jumping around. It's like, oh, we told this story, but we're going to tell it through someone else's, view or whatever. I have a Bible that's chronological.
Shut up.
It's all been reset, so it's all chronological. So when you get to a specific story, it gives you all the versions of the story. Like,
where'd you get that?
I'm cool like that, you know.
Yes, Carl, it's a pretty sexy apocalypse.
Well, yeah, when the apocalypse happens in Las Vegas, it's going to be
I
sexy.
mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
To me,
Yeah.
100% it does.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean,
this isn't going to be we're all traveling to Megiddo and you know the you know we're not doing all of that. It's like it's in. I mean, it takes place around the world, but the focus of it is Las Vegas. So basically, you've got Danica, who's the demon who decides she wants to get in on the end of days battle between heaven and hell. So she sets herself up in Las Vegas with a hotel and casino and offers to buy her patron souls for $10,000. And of course, heaven and hell take notice of souls not arriving where they're supposed to be, and they come to Vegas to look. And that's what kicks the whole thing off. Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Like, what are you doing? Are you supposed to be doing like you know there's already two sides, right?
Yeah.
UPS and FedEx, and then there's what, DHL? Like
DHL, yeah. She is the DHL of yeah, right. That's right.
I knew that was a good comparison. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. That's basically it. Yeah. Yeah.
He says, will John Williams do the soundtrack?
John Williams is welcome to do the soundtrack. Yes.
Yeah.
Anytime, John, call me. I know
yeah.
you're watching.
I hope he's watching this show. Please send him a link. Please have Yo-Yo Ma and Itzhak Perlman do the violin and cello parts. Those three work real well together. I would love to see that. Absolutely.
We don't ask for much around here.
No. For free also.
Yeah, for free. Yeah.
For free.
For free.
So
I'll take you to Red Lobster.
Yeah. We might even give you a Starbucks gift card.
Yeah. You know.
So the 7 signs of the apocalypse. Are we talking which signs? Because there's the 7 trumpets, the 7 bowls, the 7.
Well, it all goes. All of that works together. But there are the 7. Like the first 4 are just the 4 horsemen, and then it goes all the way down into I can't remember what the 5th one was. The 5th one was something about like a meteor. That comes down, and then 6, and then 7 is when you go into Revelation, and you find who the Antichrist is, and all that kind of stuff. So we've done the first 4. We've introduced the 4 horsemen, and again, like I said, we introduced Joan of Arc kind of in the middle of all of that. She had her own story, well, yeah, because she's what we call Heaven's daughter. I mean, she was all about God and the whole thing. So with Joan's story, Joan of course gets burned at the stake, spoiler alert. So in so in our story, Joan gets burned at the stake. She ends up in heaven, and Gabriel and Michael are there.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, hey, come on in, you're at heaven, whatever. And she's like, cool. So like, when do I get like my halo and wings and stuff? And they were like, well, no, you don't get that because you're a human. That's in our story. In our story, the angels were created with those things. And since humans were not created with those things, you don't just get them when you come to heaven. So she's kind of like, what? Like,
this is a ripoff.
Yeah, I kind of went through a lot, like maybe there's a way. And they were like, no. So, she's just in heaven, and she's just kind of like, what do we do here?
She's bored.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. And so she over time, she figures out that there's sort of, angels have swords and weapons and things like that. So she finds her way sort of into like the armory area of all this stuff. And she starts to build herself a set of wings and a halo, so very steampunk style, right? Yeah.
Did they look at her like, no?
Well, she's doing this the way that the book is set up. She's doing this over like hundreds of years. She's like sneaking in and doing it. So like, there's like a timeline that's like, from this year to this year to this year to this year, all the way up to like when the book was present at that moment, where she's got like the gear on, right? Yeah. But it's still just stuff, and so she has to figure out how to like get it all powered up, but before she can, she actually ends up getting dragged down to hell. Whoops. And there's a little cool sequence, just like we were doing the years, like how long it took her to be there. It's like there's this thing where she gets like basically dragged down to hell, and you see like this chasm, and there's like a date, and then there's like the next panel, and it's like 200 years later. And she comes back up out of that after all this time, and she drags herself out of hell. And when she comes back up, that's when Jesus is like, well, you passed that test, so now we're going to let you go basically through heaven's light. So she goes through heaven's light, and it powers up all of her stuff. And when she comes
Ooh,
out the other side, it's all juiced up, so the
cool.
feathers are made out of light, and she's juiced up. And then she's on with her story. So yeah, that was sort of the Joan origin story.
Yeah.
And then she's got her own thing. And then when she gets back to Earth, she finds out that Mary Magdalene is now in hell. And
Oh,
she's
no.
like, yo, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And
Like, why do you keep
yeah,
sending my friends?
what is
Like,
going
what?
on? What is this hell thing that's going on? And so
Yes,
she
Michael. Michael
and
and I
so
were just talking about a story that he's working on, and it's right. This is right up his alley. Yes, I won't say too
so
much, Michael.
so Joan hooks up with Cupid and Bunny, the War, first horseman of the apocalypse, and
Why does
they
she
go
go by
down to
Bunny?
hell. That's her name. That's her regular name. That's her
They
her
named
Earth
her
name
Bunny.
is Bunny. Yes. Yeah. It's Bunny. Yeah.
It's silly.
Bunny Bramblewood. That's her name.
Bunny
Yes.
Bramblewood.
Yes. And she became the
Horseman of the Apocalypse.
Yes. Yes. That's right. And so they go to hell to rescue Mary Magdalene, and that's that's Joan's like sort of big story on her own.
Yeah.
And then we go into the rest of the book. So yeah.
Now, you did mention another character, and I was going to ask. So, Jesus is in your story?
Oh yeah, Jesus is a televangelist.
I was going to ask if he had a breakdancing scene. I'm just kidding. That would be too much of a crossover, but that's funny.
Yeah, Jesus is in there. Lucifer's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of Dante from Dante's Inferno is in the story.
Cool.
He's basically, again, he's in hell, but he's in hell like mapping it out,
Yeah,
because that makes sense for him.
Makes perfect sense.
And God, who else is in there? Enoch.
Bunny Bramblewood, horsewoman of the apocalypse.
Yeah. Well, she terms herself the cowgirl of the apocalypse. That's her own little, they're like, oh, you're the first horseman. She's like, well, I'm the cowgirl of the apocalypse. So yeah, because she's from Utah, and
she's from Utah.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of like Daenerys from Game of Thrones, where it's like Daenerys Stormborn, mother of dragon, unburnt, first of her name, blah 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 blah. That's what Bunny Bramblewood's card is, just full of all her names. And then you flip over and there's more names from Utah.
I like that. Yeah, from Utah. Yeah, from Utah.
That'd be funny.
So that's.
Does she have business cards? Wait, does she have like because she's from Utah. So did she get put into Utah? Was she born there and became a horseman? Like, I have questions, Tom.
That's what the book's for, Laurie.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like we need a book club.
You need a book club. Yeah, if only we had a way to do a book club.
Only we could do a book club where I could read your books and then discuss the ins and outs.
To answer your earlier question, yeah, I'm deep in the lore of like
I knew you would be,
like the 10 Commandments and the Knights Templar and all that kind of stuff. So like there's a Templar knight that's in the story. He's part of the story. We find the Ark of the Covenant and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's
why
deep.
You knew, because I was like, I know where the Ark of the Covenant is. You're like, oh yeah, everybody knows where that is. And I was like, really? I was like, no, nobody knows where that is, Tom. Maybe you and me and like 3 people who have actually done the research.
Yeah, you, me, and that guy in Ethiopia.
Yeah, who's slowly dying of radiation.
Right.
Yikes. That's funny.
Yeah,
I have tidbits for you after this show.
All right. Okay.
Things, but okay. So this is what's coming next.
Yes.
Two massive books, 40 pages each. Man.
Yes.
That's nuts. So where's the art at currently? Is it in production?
It's in production. JB has been working on it. Chris Hall's been working on it. Again, we were working on this to launch in March. Everything stopped because of my mom. Right. So we're behind ish in that production schedule, but it's underway. It's happening.
But
so
it's indies, so you get to set your own schedule. You're
but
what you set before, but when you rearrange your schedule, you're still on schedule for where your new deadline is. Yeah,
sort of. I mean, we still need to kind of hustle in order to not be too far behind on fulfillment side of the book, Gotcha. But it's JB's is the only artist now from interior standpoint who has done who's been with me from day one. Wow. He has done all but 2 Penny for Your Soul books, and the 2 he didn't do were just side projects. We did a prequel story called The Temptation of Mary Magdalene, which is basically Lucifer and Mary kind of, one-on-one, which was really fun to do. And then we did, CB Zane did a Joan of Arc story that was sort of its own thing. But JB has done everything else. And
Wow.
so when I told him like, hey, we're back, we're doing more, he was like, yes, let's go. And it's really cool to kind of look at the original series and like watch how he's grown artistically,
That's
through
always
15
fun.
years of drawing this book. So yeah, it's really cool. It's
15 years.
yeah.
Just I can't wait to, well, let me just say that's a lot of work. It's a ton of work and dedication to one story. I'm going to be 7 and I already 7 books and only this is my 3rd year and I already feel like it's been a lifetime. So I look at 15 years and I was like, I want to be an old lady. I'm already an old lady. All right. Thank you a lot. Thank you everybody for, seeing that my hair is still brown and not white, but it's getting there. But I feel like 15 years is such a long time. And to have an artist be on that journey with you for that long is just incredible.
Yeah.
So that's always fun too. And I love seeing that progress where it's like, ooh, this book, look at this book. Oh, look at the next one. Look what he did now. You know what I mean? It's incredible to do that. I saw Marco DeFeo. Where were we at? We were at and Free Comic Book Day. And it was kind of slow at points. And so I had my banner up, which is the chorus art from issue number 1, Path of the Pilgrim. He came, it seemed he was just, man, I could do so much better now. He's like, let me do it over. I'm like, no, I ordered this. I don't want to order another one. It's exactly like, let it die first. Once it falls apart, you can redo it. But
those things aren't going to fall apart unless you have user error. Those things are not going to fall apart. They're pretty,
I could drop
pretty
it.
solid. Well,
I've
yeah, that's what I'm saying. User
in the
error.
last 3 days. Yeah.
User error.
I was like, that's my point. I was like, oh my God, Tom, yesterday I dropped a full bottle of soy sauce and it busted. My kitchen smells like soy sauce and it probably will for the next 2 weeks. It's gross.
See, yeah, but for me, the way that you cook all the time, it probably smells like that anyway. Like you probably have constant
but
smells.
Not soy sauce when it's just,
well, okay, maybe not soy sauce.
Today it smells like pot roast because it's in the slow cooker. So I made that this morning. Tomorrow was bread. Yeah. Oh, I made some hot sauce from my garden. I was so excited. I had a small batch. I got a bottle and a half of green sauce, which I'm going to ship one to my my editor in Michigan. Because usually when I make hot sauce, I include onions and garlic and other things. And she's allergic to nightshade plants, which includes onions and garlic. And so she was like, your hot sauce looks so good, but I can't have any. And I was like, oh no. So I was like, I made one with it's like jalapeno serrano and oregano and white vinegar. Very simple, salt, pepper, from my garden. And I was like, this is awesome. So I'm going to send her a bottle. So things I do. You're like, I care not. I care not about cooking. Tom.
I had peanut butter and jelly today.
Shut up.
That's what I had. That was lunch. Yeah. Peanut butter and jelly and Sunny D. I am eternally 8 years old. 8 years old. Yeah.
That's what my kids would eat.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom. Sticky floor for days. Yes, Carl. Oh, I was so mad because yesterday not only did I feel like crap,
toys on my shelf and like,
I mean, that's okay. So you're allowed to have things that you're interested in. I mean,
I still have my first ever Transformer. The only one that I haven't sold. I still have him.
Wow.
So yeah.
My husband has the same kind of nerd things. He doesn't do Godzilla, but he has Transformers, and we got shelves of nerd stuff. He's got crossover Cheerios boxes. He's got he never skateboarded in his life, but he has skateboards attached to his wall in like art prints from Frank Cho and Simpsons, and I mean, like, it's all in his office. I know because I hung it all up for him. And I'm like, you're such a nerd. This is why I love you. It's okay, but you're allowed to do that.
I have a Godzilla. What do they call it?
The light up ones?
No. What's the when you stitch?
You have cross stitch or crochet? Is it 3D or is it flat?
Hold on. It's flat.
He's gonna go get it. Let's see it. And Carl, let me tell you, I was sick yesterday. I was feeling like crap, and that's when it busted. And so I was crying. I was literally like that kid that cries over spilled milk. I dropped this bottle and it was everywhere. Is that cross stitch? Cross
I don't
stitch?
know. It's just
Embroidery?
that's what we're looking for, I think. No, it's not embroidery.
I think it's cross stitch.
It is stitched.
Squares?
Yeah. Yes.
Cross stitch is squares.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like it's pixelated, but it is stitched.
Yes.
I know because my mom does cross stitch.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. How old is that?
So that was a gift from my editor, Carrie Castor.
Aw. The sad soy story. Wah, wah. Kids are having cheddar risotto. For real? I'm coming to your house, Tank. I want cheddar risotto. Cheesy rice is the best. Cross stitching, yeah, is the OG pixel art. I was thinking about I know how to cross stitch. I haven't done it in a long time, but I was like, I could cross stitch Big James. People would buy it. I don't know, maybe sad pancake. You never know. Everybody likes it. Everybody likes it.
Yeah, you know,
so
everybody's always like, "Oh, Tom hates everything," and I'm like,
except for cross stitch and
my
Godzilla.
collection says otherwise. But thanks.
Oh, did you see? What was it? What I don't know what it was for. There was a shark popcorn holder.
Yeah, it's Jaws. It's for the 50th anniversary.
Is it?
Jaws.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was like, I always scroll past things. I'm like, Tom would like this, and I don't send it to you because I'm always like, someone else has already sent this to Tom. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Where I'm like,
well, I in that case, I had found that one on my own. Yeah.
Where I'm always like, Tom would like this.
Listen, I'm in Jaws groups. They're on it. Those guys are on it. So as soon as something leaks, they're just like, bing, everybody look. But yeah, I don't really do the popcorn buckets, but that one was pretty like, dang, that's pretty sweet. Like it's the Jaws, like from the poster. So he's coming up. So you have like the Jaws, but then his mouth opens and you fill him with popcorn. Fill his mouth with popcorn. Yeah.
I did art for that book on Jaws. Which book, Jeff?
This?
The one Jaws, behind Tom? That one?
Jaws Memories?
Time to open that book up, Tom. Let's go see. Wow, look at that book.
This is huge. What art did you do?
Yeah, give us
because it's all photographs from the movie. So
the new one. Is there a new?
What did you do?
There's a new book.
I don't know. This one's pretty new, but there could be a new printing.
What? Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, that's fake. That's fake, Carrie.
Oh, is it AI? That's so sad.
It's AI. Yeah.
Oh, we gotta make one now.
It's AI. Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, oh yeah, that's 50th anniversary version, of course. Yeah, that makes sense.
Is that book out?
Is
it out yet, Jeff? Printed in blood. Don't know. You have to tell us.
Yeah.
Man, I want fun glass decanters. I want a bear. It has to come out of its mouth too. It's not out yet.
Yeah, I've seen all of those things. So like there's one that was like they did one for Alien, like, but it's all fake. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You ordered it. I want to see it, Carrie, because I'm what's happening now, and this is a problem that we have to deal with, is people are selling things based on an AI image, but it's a scam.
Shoot.
And I've seen people get scammed on other things that are similar.
So then what do they ship anything, or they just take their money?
They just take the money. They just take the money. Yeah, that's the problem. So if it's real, Carrie, I want to know about it for sure. But the pictures that I saw were pretty obviously AI. Now, that could be an AI render that they're doing and it will become a real thing. Okay, I accept that. But until I actually see one,
yeah,
I feel like that we're in that scam zone where I've seen people talk about it. They're like, oh, I bought like whatever it was. I don't remember what it was. But it ended up just being an AI image that they attached, and then they took whatever money they could get and ran. Yeah, please. If it is real, I want one. Like, it looks really cool, but I just am afraid that it's an AI thing.
Not.
Yeah. So fingers crossed. Let's fingers crossed.
Yeah. Carrie will keep us posted. She's a regular on the show.
Please.
So
Yes.
she'll let me know, and then I can let you know.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll go right there. It'll sit right there.
I got a spot for it right there.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. What other things have you seen that's a scam? The alien one? Like,
yeah, there's because like the recent one that I saw, they're doing, and this is why it's running into the scam, is they did like Godzilla ice cube makers, like ice trays, alien ice trays. But
I saw that.
Yeah, but the figures that you're getting out of the ice, they're too perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're getting these 3-dimensional things out of out of a flat. Like if you fill up, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't work for me. So again, I may be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but I know that there are people that have been talking about like, oh, I bought this Transformers thing, but it was an AI thing and it's not real. And you know, you have to fight. Not to say you can't get your money back, but you have to go through the process of fighting to get your money back. And the people that are doing the scams, they're not betting on that you won't go through the hassle of it.
Well, a lot of time they're not even in the US, so it's such a big
also
hassle.
True.
Yeah.
Also true. Yeah. So you know, perfect way to just take us down a downer road here, guys.
Sorry. We saw shiny things and we're like, ooh. I gotta say, Tom, that when you're on the show and we're a pair of raccoons, shiny things. What's this you're talking about, Lou? The chocolate factory in the UK? I didn't hear about that.
Oh yeah, they were doing something with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh
yeah, I remember something like that. But again, UK, so that's sort of out of my purview for the most part. Plus, I'm not really a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory fan, so it doesn't float my boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just read The Benedict Society, the kids and I. That was actually pretty good. It cracks me up because in the book, there's this bad guy. His name is Drop the Curtain. I don't know. But he's engineering a emergency. So he's using news and radio, and all the adults are being programmed to think like not to trust the government and that everything is going wrong and the banks are corrupt and everything's corrupt. And so that way there's this constant unease. And so he can kind of swoop in and make everything better. And I was like, I feel like this is now.
Yeah, that's real.
Like,
that's all just real.
I feel like it's real. Like
he's just writing reality. Yeah.
And I mean, like that book was written, I don't know, probably 12 years ago, but I was like, the emergency is where we are right now at the timeline. I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, I got
it's funny that, you know, we've for decades upon decades upon decades, we have had people writing books and stories telling us what to avoid and how to like not screw up. And instead, society took it and said, "Oh, we should do all these things.
We should follow this recipe.
This is the path. This is the journey we should all be taking." Like
that's happened with my book. You know what I mean? To the point where when I wrote it in 2018, I wrote the apocalypse starting in March 5th, 2020, and then
the only thing that ever came true in my books is in Ursa Minor. I wrote because it takes place in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I wrote that the San Diego Chargers relocated to Los Angeles, and that happened.
They're like, it's your fault, damn it. They read your book and thought it was a great idea.
Yeah.
Your fault.
But at that point I had already moved out of LA, so it didn't do me any good. Yeah. But it did happen. So I was like, all right, that's fine.
Ooh, this is a plan. Yeah, like let's there's always that funny meme where it's like the post-apocalyptic literature has been moved to current events.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. That's where my book is too.
Yeah. Did you see the robot that went crazy on somebody?
Oh yeah, they turned it on. It was like,
yeah, it was like
but that wasn't even the first one. There was another one that was in like a crowd that went nuts and was punching people in like a crowd. Like, I don't know if it was a red carpet event or a movie. It looked like it was like a movie premiere, and like how the actors walked down and they had like barricades to stop the masses from coming in, and the robot was on one side, and it turned around and started just kicking the shit out of the people. I was like, why? I don't know. So there's a few of them that are already, but they're teaching like karate. I've seen robots doing freaking.
They've literally given them guns.
They're like, why?
Have you not seen Terminator?
Have you not seen Terminator?
That's all you have to do is watch Terminator, and you know what not to do.
I know, but they're just like, ooh, let's make this a plan. See,
that's one of the funniest things about the Hot Tub Time Machine movies is they always come back to Terminator, and that's part of the shtick is like everything time travel is Terminator. They're like, yeah, everything's cyclical. There's always a joke. It's just like Terminator. It's great.
The ones that scare the crap out of me are the dog ones with the guns on top. They just four-leg their way around. I don't know where. I think they have them at Mar-a-Lago. Like they're just with guns. I'm afraid. I'm so scared. I don't. Why is this a good? Why are we doing this? Like, I don't trust any AI, man.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't believe that. I don't believe that our downfall will come from robots like Terminator, where we're gonna like fight a war. It's gonna be AI robots. They're gonna just become like Gary. You know who Gary Vaynerchuk is? Gary V. He's like a motivational speaker guy. He's a big marketing guy. He's huge on the internet. He talks about stuff all the time. He's really smart. You should watch him. Just find his clips. He does clips all the time.
What's
but he's
his
really,
name?
really
Gary what?
Gary Vaynerchuk, but he just goes by Gary V.
It's going right after the list of Star Wars holidays.
Yeah, Star Wars. Go watch Gary V. So Gary V the other day was on somebody's show, and he looked at this guy and he said, "Your grandchild is going to marry an AI robot."
No.
And he starts laughing. He's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Look, AI is going so fast, and this robot thing is happening so fast, and culture is moving in such a way. I mean, there's dudes right now that are like marrying their pillows and shit, right? So, like, Gary V is like, your grandchild is going to marry an AI robot. Like, that's going to be culture." And you know, he has said stuff for decades where he's like way out on stuff, and then like it comes around and he was like, "See, I told you about this like 5 years ago."
I mean, I guess he's not wrong. I mean, like where humans are, the birth rate for a lot of cultures.
Well, there's the birth rate, but there's also just the societal problematic. Everybody's at each other's throats all the time. There's men versus women versus whatever, blah, 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 you know, and if you can
25, 25,
25,
2020, what about 2030? I mean, like it's going so fast at this point. It could be 5 years from now.
Yeah.
I mean, would you think we could get a tax write-off for AI children?
Children are just coded now.
Yeah.
Code a kid, put it into a robot. Okay, go.
I mean, we don't have to have birth anymore. It'd be great.
Yeah.
The problem.
So yeah,
how we write ourselves out of existence.
Well, and if we start marrying robots, we're not having kids.
Right.
That's the end of society.
But I mean, I think people would be happier.
Yeah, but that's the end of society.
Yeah.
So if you're happy with the end of society, then yes, marry your robots, and eventually you will have no children until there are no humans left and AI rules the planet.
I could 100% see that happening. The other catastrophic future I could see happening with AI is it just shuts everything off.
Sure. Yeah.
It's just like, nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
just pulls the plug on everything.
Yeah. It's like no more for you. We're going to wait 5 years. If you can't turn it on, we got the switch.
Yeah.
And if you're still around in 5 years, we'll turn it back on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, one of those two things will happen.
Yeah. It's Hunger Games for 5 years, and then we'll see what you deserve at that point.
Right. And say please and thank you.
Mm-hmm.
He always said thank you when he typed into Chat GPT. He can stay.
Yeah.
At 25, if we are still alive. That's a song, isn't it?
Yes.
Carl, what song is that? It's a real song from the 60s. Yeah.
Well, I keyed in differently. Isn't that like Cleopatra 25, like that weird sci-fi show?
Too old for me, sir.
It's not old. It's from the 2000s.
I didn't watch it then. You know me, I don't watch nothing. Like the only thing I can get through, I watched all of the new season of Love, Death and Robots
Okay.
because their episodes are 8 minutes.
Sure. Yeah.
And I was sick all day, so I got through it. But if it's like anything else, I'm like, nah, I haven't seen it. Except for, and you're gonna love this, we went to see the Thunderbolts.
Oh, geez.
But my kids came. They
Okay.
wanted to see it. They love Marvel.
They wanted to see superheroes fight super depression.
They didn't know it was about super depression.
Oh,
Then they, you know, from the trailers, they're like, look, it's the they love Yelena Belova.
of course.
They love her. So they're like, we want to see that. And they're like, who's everybody else? I'm like, you don't remember any of these other characters? They're like, nope.
That sounds right.
Ziegler and Evans.
That sounds right.
I looked that up.
Yeah.
So yeah, we went and saw that. And it was after you had given your review where you were like, I can't even put it as number 2. It's 15.
Yeah.
I was laughing. I was like, of course. Tom hates everything.
Yeah. I
mean, what do you expect from Marvel at this point?
I really didn't like that movie at all. Yeah.
Is there anything coming out this year that you're looking forward to?
There are small movies that I'm looking forward to. There's one coming out in June, right around all the time that the big stuff comes out. It's called Dangerous Animals. And it's sort of a pseudo shark movie. With Jai Courtney, one of the guys from Spartacus and some other stuff. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. But again, that's just like a small thing. I am vaguely interested in Superman. I am hopeful for Fantastic Four.
I'm not.
Jurassic Park, I don't care. Don't
care.
You can't. That stuff's over. I will go see it. It might be enjoyable because of the dinosaurs, but I don't really have a lot of hope for it. What else?
Do you want to see? I've been hearing. It looks dumb to me, but Friendship.
I don't know what that is.
Paul Rudd and Tim Robinson. It's a comedy. It's a lot of people are saying that it's super funny.
I'm out.
But
I'm already out.
It doesn't look good to me either. It just looks like it's What About Bob 2.0. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. It's crazy because I've only seen 3 theater films this year. And usually by this time I've seen like at least a dozen.
Right.
But I've just now part of it is because my mom, I didn't have time to do all that kind of stuff. That's part of it. But there really wasn't anything that I was like, ooh, I got to go see that thing.
I mean, I'm just, here's the thing.
Well, but you're judging it. You're judging it. You're judging the trailer.
Yeah.
And you can judge the trailer.
Entice me to want to come see the movie. And if the trailer just doesn't entice me, I'm not, because the movies are so freaking expensive. Like, if I go with just my hubs, right? It's like probably $40 for tickets. If we get concession, it's more, because it's movie theater food. We got to find a babysitter. You know what I mean? Like, it's a full on thing. If I take my kids with me and we all get we went to a matinee and it was $60 for tickets. And then we all got concession. We must have spent $150 to go to the movies. So again, it's like, it's going to be on digital sooner than later. So if the trailer doesn't get me, I'm not spending my hard-earned money there.
Well, and there's plenty of examples of like movies that have good trailers and then the movie's bad. So the trailer can absolutely be judged just on its own. And the whole point of the trailer is to make you go to the theater or watch it in some capacity. So if it doesn't do its job, then you can judge it. Then you can judge it on its job. It's like, for example, when the Alien last year, when Alien Romulus came out, the trailer looked great, and I hated that movie.
Really?
I was like,
I never got to see it. That was one that I wanted to see, and we just didn't have time to go. But like the new Mission Impossible is out, I guess.
Yeah.
I've missed quite a few of those, so I don't know if it's going to make sense to me. I feel like I need to do homework for that one.
You need to watch the previous one because this is the second part.
Oh, see, that's my point.
Yeah, that's all
there's a live action Lilo and Stitch, which again, I don't
care.
I don't care. There's something called Trail of Vengeance that's a Western. I don't recognize anybody on this one, so I don't know. We'll have to look. And The Last Rodeo, Neil McDonough Is it
Yeah, that could.
that
I
guy?
don't. I don't think that's going to be anything special. It could be a decent movie, but I don't think it's going to be anything special. So
The Karate Kid Legends.
yeah, that's no one's
I'm
going to care
out.
about
And I
that.
like martial art movies. I just think it's a money grab.
Oh, totally, it's a money grab. Yeah, because it's not even continuity. It's not even Cobra Kai. It's just its own.
Well, it's crossover because
It's
what's his face
crossover with
with the
Jackie Chan,
right?
but it has
Yeah,
nothing to do with Cobra Kai. It has nothing to do with the timeline.
right,
It's just its own entity of like,
right.
let's just put these two together with no context other than that film. So it's really kind of strange. Like it'd be one thing if they went like, okay, we did Cobra Kai and now this happens. Like,
Yeah.
all right, that we have a context, but this is a really weird mashup thing. Yeah.
Is
No,
Jackie Chan still making movies? That's what I need to
not
know. I
much.
don't think
Not
so. I
much.
think he's probably too beat up and old. You know what I mean? Like his
Too,
arthritis must be so bad at
for
this point.
sure, too old to be like doing heavy stunts. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, like he's almost died, I don't know, a handful
Oh,
of
yeah.
times and, broken 13,000 bones in his body multiple times. I mean, like
Mhm.
I've been doing martial arts for 20 plus years and it's like I'm already feeling effects. Can't imagine Jackie Chan, just one giant arthritic mass. How is he
Yeah.
not in a wheelchair? I don't get it. Now, I kind of want to see this one. It's called Bring Her Back. It's A24. It's a horror. I don't know too much about it.
Mhm.
Um, I've liked A24 stuff. It's pretty original and I like horror, so I'm gonna give it a shot. Maybe it'll be a date night for Hubs and I to go, but that's really the only thing that looks attractive to me. Otherwise, it's like Jane Austen. Who's that? Imported Wives looks great. Thug Life. Nope. I don't even know if I want to see Ballerina.
I will probably see it. I'm not a John Wick fan,
I
but
am.
I Anna de Armas, she was in the last Bond movie. She was great doing action
Yeah.
stuff in the Bond movie. So I'm like, yeah, I could probably deal with that as long as it's not heavy continuity into the John Wick stuff. It just kind of stands alone. I'll probably be okay.
Well, John
But
Wick is in it.
oh, is he really?
Yeah, Keanu Reeves is in it.
Like in it or like cameo in it?
He cameos, but it looks like that they now don't quote me because I'm only basing this off a trailer, but it looks like they have a confrontation between the two of them. Like she's out of control and she's doing stuff and they call him in to deal with her. I don't know what happens, obviously, but they have showed him and her standing off. So you never know.
Okay, I can
But
deal with
yeah,
that.
but again, it's just like it's the same thing told again and again
Yes.
and again. And
Yes.
just because it's a girl instead of Keanu doesn't make it worth watching. I don't know.
Right.
Like the stunts are always good. The gun fu is great. Keanu's getting old, so I mean, again, he's got a broken neck and he's got a busted knee, and he can't really do that stuff no more. So it's good to bring in fresh blood, but do we have to do the same thing? Can't we do something? I don't know. So I'll probably end up seeing that one too, but I don't know if it'll be in the theater.
Yeah.
And thank you. And Al, by the way, next week is when I'm doing the next slice and dice. So I'll be killing the watermelon next week. Make sure you show up for that. Gymnastics gave me some epic arthritis. No, maybe. I can do the things. I can do both guns and bladed weapons, and I can do open hand stuff, but just I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna watch. Yeah, that's true. It is Anna de Armas. She looks good. But I mean, even like in June, that's the only thing. There's your Dangerous Animals, Life of Chuck. There's nothing else looks good.
There was something like in
stuff?
November that I wanted to see.
November.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
Let's look. I think I do want to see 28 Years Later. However, I hate Aaron Taylor Johnson. I hate him. I have a real hard time watching anything with him in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Jared Leto. You know what I mean? Like there's certain people that it's just like it takes you out of the movie. I love Christopher Walken. I did not want him in Dune. You know what I mean? It takes you out of it. So let's see. Let's scroll down to November and let's see what's. Oh, the new Naked Gun is in August.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's a reboot.
Yeah, I don't care.
September. November, right?
I think.
Still scrolling. Predator Badlands.
Oh, there you go. Predator Badlands. Yeah, that was it. There might have been another one, but definitely I do want to see that.
They're doing another run, the Running Man, but
The Running Man, that could be good or
that
bad.
is that like a redo of the Arnold Schwarzenegger Running Man? Or
Yes, well, but that's also just a Stephen King story. So,
right?
Depending on how they're
Was it called The Running Man? What was it
Yeah.
called?
Mhm.
Was it called?
I don't know if it
Richard
was
Bachman.
called The Running Man, but it
I
was
forget what it was called.
that's what it became with Schwarzenegger.
Right.
So that's one of those things that could just be dumb fun, or it could just be dumb.
It's not a reboot, a sequel. It's the children of
It's
the
the children of the OGs. Yeah, that's true.
it.
That is
Thank
correct.
you.
That is correct.
28 seconds. I know we're going the wrong way. Like, can you do less time? We did days, weeks, and now we're in years. It's like, we do 28 seconds. Ooh, zombies. The end. It was just like Tom coming on the show. Here's Tom. There he goes. Now you see me. Now you don't. Well, again, like
That's a third one of those.
Isn't the fourth one?
I think maybe. I thought it was the third, but either way, it's not good.
And it's like they're introducing a new crowd, but the old crowd is still there.
Yeah, don't care.
The next Wicked is in November. Return to Silent Hill?
No, I don't care about that.
Oh, here's one. Zootopia 2, just for you, Tom.
So the answer is it was Badlands. That's
I mean, so again, it's like there's another year of just stuff I don't want to see. Return of the Living Dead on Christmas Day. Who's doing that one? It says it's a comedy, horror, sci-fi. Sounds terrible. I don't want comedy zombies. I don't want romantic zombies. Give me good old zombies. That's it. That's it through the end of the year. I don't know. Maybe there'll be more stuff. Apophis? What's this? You ever heard? Yep. Okay, is this a real thing? It says on April 13th, 2029, asteroid Apophis grazes Earth, but it's not alone. President James Carlisle, what a great name, plans the next step of civilization, a luxury bunker, and a drug-fueled romp. Well, a group of friends heads to the coast for one last hurrah. So there is a meteor coming in 2029 called Apophis.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny they're making a movie about it. Maybe it'll kill us all. Hey, then we don't have to vote anymore. A zomedy? Terrible. First orgy. Apparently that's what it is. That's what that movie's going to be. Oh, Lou.
Oh, The Conjuring. That was another one that I want to see. Conjuring in September.
That's in September?
Yeah, fourth and final one of that sort of group
in
of
September.
Those movies.
I skipped over September because I went right to November.
And then Tron is in October. I don't know how I'm going to like that, but
Jared Leto.
Yeah, exactly. It could be problematic, could be fine. Who knows?
I think he works for free.
I mean,
I really think.
Dude wins an Academy Award and then proceeds to just flop the rest of his films.
He's just too far out there, like into his method acting, where he weirds everybody out, and he's just uncomfortable to work with. Yeah. He's a vampire after all. Works for blood. Tron does that. The only reason I want to see Tron because Trent Reznor is doing the soundtrack. Is that weird?
Yeah, that's no draw for me. That was
he does amazing work.
That was not a draw.
What? Trent Reznor, man. He does really good soundtracks. It's going to be amazing. Yeah. Well, the last Tron, they had Daft Punk do the soundtrack, and it was amazing.
That was perfect.
So, they're smart.
Yeah.
So,
well, we'll see. I don't know. So yeah, well, I mean, I might only end up seeing like 5 movies this year. Well, like
really?
last year I saw like 45.
I was going to say, I always look forward to Tom's reviews of the things that I don't plan to see, so then I can justify not seeing them. Yeah. So Kevin Davis is good for that too. He always goes and he sees all the things, and I thank him for that. So it's like, thank you for seeing that, so I don't have to.
Yeah, there's a horror movie out right now. I think it's called Until Dawn or something. It's supposed to be pretty good. People have talked about it. Pretty good
Until
word of mouth.
Dawn.
I think it's called something like that, Until Dawn. So I think I'm going to go end
Yeah.
up seeing that. I haven't been to theater in a while, so I'm probably going to go see that.
What's that? Can you stay alive until dawn? Until dawn. It's a group
Yeah,
of
they're
friends
like in a
trapped in
haunted house or
time loop.
something. Oh, see, I didn't even know about the time loop. Thanks, Laurie.
I mean, it's in the description.
But I didn't read the description.
All right.
All I heard was
a group of
people.
friends in a time loop where mysterious foes chase
Oh.
and kill them in gruesome ways must survive until dawn to escape it. Ooh, it looks good.
So I don't know. It's fine. I'm sure it's fine. I don't know. It's good, but I'm sure it's fine. So
There's no A-list actors in it, so it's probably worth a watch.
maybe.
It's not. It hasn't been Hollywoodified. You know what I mean? If it's like you got B actors, they don't have a big budget. It's probably something that somebody cares about.
But that you just described Heart Eyes, which was
well, that's different. That's different.
Trash.
I mean, there's a lot of B horror that it's B horror. You know what I mean? Like Heart Eyes.
It's not even a B, Laurie.
Yeah.
It's not even a B. Have you seen it?
Horror. No. Do I have time?
I'm just making sure. You felt like you had some sort of an educated response to when I said it was trash, and you were like, "Well."
No, I was just thinking, like, just based off of what I've seen, I didn't have any expectations for it. Zero.
Okay. Right.
You know, because I've seen enough B horror where it's just like, oh, it's just bloody nonsense. You know, it doesn't even. It's not even the level of Zombievers, which will at least make you laugh. Right.
This Hard Eyes will make you cry. You'll be wondering why you're here.
Carrie says, "What about the new Final Destination?"
No, I don't care about.
I don't plan on seeing that either.
I think, to be honest, I'm pretty sure I've only seen the first two. I might have seen the third, maybe, but I think the second one was with all the logs, right? Was that the second one? Yeah. So I saw the first two for sure. I don't think I've seen any since then.
What?
Yeah, big ass spider. Yeah.
Is it a thing?
That's a thing. Yeah.
I thought it was a joke.
It is a joke. It is a joke. But yeah, it's a real thing.
Oh,
it's a real movie. Yeah.
By the way, Love, Death, and Robots, which is on Netflix, was fun. I gotta say, there was a lot of dicks and there was a lot of cats this season. I don't know why it was a thing, but everybody had either dicks or cats or both. So, and there was an episode that was called Spider Rose, and it had cat-like things in it. That's all. Quentin, you show up, and there's 9 minutes left of my show.
Quick, recap it all, Laurie. Go.
You missed it. Please go back, rewind, and watch from the beginning. Be kind and rewind. What was predictable?
Yeah.
Cool kills. Tony Todd last flick or whatever line he delivered.
I have a Tony. I am 1 degree of Tony Todd.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's actually amazing.
I was at a horror con. I was at the Wizard of Oz booth because the Oz Museum gave me space to sit in.
Cool.
Because they go and they sell a lot of Wicked Witch merch and stuff like that. So Tony Todd was a guest there, and he was sitting sort of like over there. And I kept, and I was here and he was kind of like over there. And I kept seeing him look over, and I'm like, what is he looking at? Like,
does he know me?
Does he know, like, Wizard of, like, what is he looking at? And about halfway through the first day, he walks over, stands in front of me, and he looks at a flying monkey mask. He's just staring at it, and he goes, I've been looking at this thing. How much is it? And I was like, I don't know. It's I don't know, $50. And he's all, sold. So 1 degree of Tony Todd is the sentence I never would have ever imagined in my life. I sold Tony Todd a flying monkey mask at Comic-Con. That's my Tony Todd connection.
Oh my gosh. I just realized that we got 7 minutes.
Yeah.
We got 7 minutes left.
I know.
Quentin, I hope your meeting went well. Whippa! Cool story. Thank you, Al. You guys, you make sure that you follow Tom Hutchinson on socials. Carrie, I know that you already follow, but you guys who haven't followed Tom, he's on all the things. He does amazing work. You should read some of his stories. Now I gotta go read Penny for Your Soul. What the heck?
Yeah,
Um,
and I've now started my own show. If you guys are
oh,
around on Monday nights, Allison Lear and I have been talking about doing a show together. She's a big Oz fan, and she's been doing cosplay for our Oz book for a long time. And she
cool.
runs the Wizard of Oz Museum in Chittenango, New York, where they do the Ostravaganza show every year. So she and I just did episode 3 last night of our show
Wow,
called The Oz Couple. Our first show somehow got 1,000 views
that's
like
great.
crazy, and then the second one got like 800 and some change. So I don't know. I guess we'll keep doing it. Well, that's what. So the joke was when we started the first show, I said, "Okay, Allison, if we get 5 unique people to actually comment in our comments, we'll come back for episode 2." So we got the 5, and then the next episode we need 6 individual
Mhm.
comments, and we got it. In this episode we needed 7, and we got it again. So we'll be back for episode 4 Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Cool.
Facebook, my page, Facebook, the Big Dog page, and we have the YouTube page where it gets all posted like that. So yeah.
Very
So
cool.
that's the new thing for me. But then this weekend I'm going to be at Traverse City in Michigan up north
Nice.
doing C4 where we have the Critter and Chloe
Mhm.
exclusive. And then those of you that backed the campaign, you'll get your books next week.
Very cool. Thanks again for coming on the show. I always enjoy having you. We always have a great conversation about what you're working on, what's popping in movies.
Well, I will. I'll make sure I send you some Penny for Your Soul stuff to read because I'm
Yay.
scheduled to be back here with you next
Mhm.
month,
That's right.
and we can do a
Oh, that's right.
little more theology deep dive into the series.
Yes, and I've done some deep dives into some theology from my own book, so it's like I we got to talk after the show. Thank you everybody for watching. We'll be here next week. Make sure you tune in next week. Gonna be smashing that watermelon. I'm dressing up as Pikachu. I will reveal the name of the ill-fated watermelon. I don't plan on lighting him on fire tomorrow, though. We tried that a few times and it had mixed results. So we're just gonna beat the crap out of it with the bat saw and have a good time. Matt Knowles will be here. It's gonna be a blast and a smash and more things. So make sure you tune in again Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be excellent to each other, kiss your babies, and we will see you next week. And now I gotta go find the button. It's around here somewhere. Oh, for Pete's sakes. Here we go. Okay. We'll do this one. Bye. Hi, I'm Laurie Calcaterra from the Tuesday Morning Brew, and I have a hot take for you. My friends, I am tired of remix, reboot, recycle, sequel, prequel. Aren't you? Like, where is all the new stuff? I want to know what's new in comics, in movies, in novels, and music. But for that, my friend, you gotta go to indie. Here on the Tuesday Morning Brew, we like to go right to the source. I interview indie creators, writers, artists, musicians, novelists, actors, you name it. They're all on the show, and it helps us keep a pulse on what's new, what's poppin', and what people are passionate about. Join us on Roku every week and other platforms live on Tuesdays. And no matter if you're drinking coffee, tea, or the tears of your readers, make sure you tune in to the Tuesday Morning Brew.